Hey, Cali, how you doing? Thank you for your submission here. First iteration, I had some trouble with this one trying to figure out hierarchy, but I hope to learn more with feedback from everyone. Definitely, I think you understand hierarchy. I'm seeing that, definitely seeing a good understanding of hierarchy. So I don't have any real concerns at this point. I do have several recommendations for improvement. Let's go ahead. First thing I want to do is back off this and let's take a look. So you definitely look like you're at 15 by 20, 5 by 5, 5 by 5 fields compositions with an inch space in between. So setup is great. Good job there. Let's go ahead and jump over to the first composition. Now the first composition is set up beautifully. Actually, the first two are beautiful. Everything is perfect here. So basically what we're saying is in the first design, there's no contrast in weight or hierarchy. So all hierarchy is, I'm sorry, size or weight. So all hierarchy is based on grouping, and this is good here. And I think this is really smart that you were able to add this space right here, because that adds another level of hierarchy. Without that space, the viewer looks at these without reading anything and says, okay, these all have equal amounts of importance, though there's one level of hierarchy being that something pictured as a top or something listed at the top usually has a little bit more importance than something at the bottom. I think that makes sense, right? By adding the space, though, you're reinforcing that hierarchy by telling the viewer, okay, this is the main topic, and these are the subjects associated with the main topic. So that's excellent job right there of establishing hierarchy with no contrasts in size or weight, and all hierarchy based on grouping. Good job. In the second design, you want to introduce one new size and one new weight, again, which you have done beautifully. So again, this is very, very effective. Now, there's a good chance that when you submit your final submission for this, you're going to make some changes to make them more visually compelling. I think right now these are really, really basic. So that's okay. You're understanding hierarchy. That's the most important thing. Now, we could establish another level of hierarchy here by grouping, further grouping. Because right now, this is set off by itself, this 409 fuel injector motor. Also, watch your alignment right here. I'm just going to grab this straight edge right here. Yeah, let's do this. I just want to use this straight edge to check alignment. And yes, the 19th, actually the one, yeah, you are in alignment, but that one, it just appears that that's a left a little bit because of the way that that little uh, arm of the one aligns with the rest of the word. So you could even theoretically move that to the left just a pixel or two just to accommodate for that optical illusion. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the third piece. Now, the third piece, you were asking for multiple. Right now, you've got new size and then the new size and weights here. So again, you're covering the recommendations and requirements here, but I think that you could take this a little further. There's a good example in the course announcements. There's some really good examples right here. So you can see multiple scales, multiple weights, and plus this one has really, really interesting use of white space. And I think that you can start at this point, you can start considering how to use white space as a design element in your layouts. Okay, and then the fourth, little problem with the fourth in that, don't forget this assignment is required to be submitted in black and white grayscale, right? So you want to do an adjustment layer on this card, and so convert that to black and white. Also, watch your selection techniques. There's a few things here, and let me zoom in. A few things here that point to some inconsistencies. That back, there's something on the back that's on that card, and also your selections right here are really soft and blurry and kind of muddy. So you definitely want to take. Then there's some things right here and over here. So this has got to be a perfect selection. Don't forget. So let's employ your Photoshop skills and let's redo this car, convert it to grayscale. And in this composition, I think one of the things here is that it's good hierarchy, definitely. And that's why I was saying before, I think you understand hierarchy. I really do. So you've got this. This is great right here. Then we have this. But now remember saccadic movements from our letter spacing exercises, fire and ice and banana. Remember, saccadic movements are the way the eye jumps, right? And we want to eliminate saccadic movements in typography, but we also want to eliminate saccadic movements in layout. So we can clearly see that a layout like, let's use your example right here. Let's say this layout right here. Okay, this is a very interesting layout, right? And it's easy, and it's easy to read, and it's inviting because as a designer, you're telling the viewer exactly how. Watch my cursor. This is how we approach this. We come in here, Then we come down and straight down the line. So really the only saccadic eye movement jump is from here to here, right? And that's okay. So you come from here and you go here and then you just go straight down the line. Here, we come here, here, straight down the line. Everything's great so far, but then all of a sudden you're asking the viewer to go from here down, then to jump here, then to jump over here. So note my cursor. What looks more natural to you? Coming in like this, moving down the line, or coming here, jump it down here, jump it over here, jump it over here. What I would recommend here is to group this with this. What you can do is take the card, move it down in the composition so that you can even bleed that off the page, the bottom wheel. And then what you can do is move this up just a touch, maintain a good space there between 409 and power brakes, but then go ahead and add these in alignment right down here. Or whatever other configuration you find to be more effective. Okay, now those are my recommendations, those are my comments. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some examples. So there's some great examples in the class, and I think this is a wonderful little lecture. This is right from the book, page 101 in edition 6. So I think you're using edition 7. So you're going to look for a subsection called visual hierarchy. And this is in the syntax and communication chapter. It's on page 101 in my book, but in your book it might not be with edition 7. So you want to check that. Look for that modern Hispanic poetry example. There's 9 examples in the book, but only 6 here. So definitely want to take a look at that lecture in the book with the examples. And then also, and this walks you through step by step exactly how to establish hierarchy. Then we come over here to the course announcements. There's this example here, but way up here, about halfway down the welcome to week 3 announcement, we get to this. This is type study, typographic hierarchy. Without question, this is the most effective example of hierarchy that I've ever seen. And I've been teaching for many, many, many years and practicing for well over 25 years. So this is fantastic. So basically what this does, it shows you how to establish hierarchy by creating groups, by creating alignment, by creating separations, by creating variety and scale, weight, and in this case, color, because we're coloring down here. But it's just a wonderful little lecture on how to establish hierarchy. So take a look at both of those. Look at them twice if you have to. Read through them. Go through my video again, listen to that, take a look at your examples while you're watching the video, take a look at your examples while you're studying these 2 assets, and then go ahead and recompose and resubmit for Sunday. Now, at this point, as I said, I think you understand hierarchy, but I think as we work into more compelling visual compositions, I think it will affect the visual effectiveness of the work. So at this point, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to let me know. I'll be glad to make any clarifications needed. But really great start and really super important to ask many questions as soon as you can. All right, good job, Kelly. Thanks so much for sharing.